Hi there, Jess in the Rada Kitchen. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to share with you a recipe that I picked up years ago from my Little Country Church's cookbook. This is a blueberry French toast bake. We're gonna stuff it with cream cheese and top it off with a delicious blueberry sauce. Let's go ahead and get started. So for our French toast portion of this recipe, I am using brioche bread, and you want about a pound. If you can't find brioche, you can use just regular French bread. The difference being brioche is more eggy and buttery. So I have some that I've already prepped, but with my bread knife, I'm just going to get some nice big cubes, about an inch. And then we are going to layer this into our buttered, there we go, rectangular baking dish. Turn it to the side. So our recipe calls for 2 packages of cream cheese. Now I have just stuck these in the refrigerator right before I was ready to use it, just to firm them up a little bit because we're actually going to cube them. So with my regular parer, I'm going to come across, and there's no super easy way to do this, so just to the best of your ability. And again, right into my bowl. And if you just have to kind of glob it in there, it's all going to taste the same and no one will be the wiser. There we go, on to my next. So I'm cutting it into 3 long strips and cubing. And I want to pick it up off my board right away so that it doesn't become warm and stick. First, we are going to take that cubed brioche or French bread and we're going to put a layer on the bottom of my buttered baking dish. So try to get everything covered there. And we are going to top that with our cubed cream cheese. That looks about right. So this is going to be that delicious filling. So I'm just going to plop it in there. I discovered this recipe years ago, and I think my mom and I have made this for so many different baby showers, bridal showers, brunches, holiday get-togethers, you name it. It's such a great starter for the day, and everyone always loves it. We're going to top this with the rest of our bread. And then I have a little over a cup of fresh blueberries that are going to go on top. And then we will cover this with our egg batter and then pop it into the oven. You can actually make this overnight and let it sit in the fridge, but if you're kind of a last minute person, more like I am, then it's great just to pull together and stick in the oven. So now we're ready to whisk together our egg mixture. Here I've already cracked a dozen eggs, and to that I'm going to add 2 cups of milk. And I'm using whole milk for this recipe, and then some vanilla, and about 1/3 cup of either honey or real maple syrup. So in that goes. And whisk it together. So let's go ahead and pour that egg mixture all over the top of our French toast bake. Now you want to give this a little bit of time to sit just so the bread can absorb all of this mixture. And like I mentioned before, you can certainly do that ahead of time overnight if you want it to be ready right away in the morning to pop into the oven. But if you're making it kind of last minute, then just let it sit for however long you have available before baking it. There we go. And I've had my oven preheated to 350 degrees, so in we'll go. So our French toast is going to bake covered for about 30 minutes, and then we'll pull it back out, take the tin foil off, and back in it goes for about 25 more. We are moving on to make our delicious blueberry sauce. So in my saucepan, I'm going to add a cup of sugar, and to that 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And then with my handy stir, I'm going to whisk in some cold water. So we are just going to let this mixture come up to a boil, and then we will be ready to add our blueberries. So my cornstarch water and sugar have just come up to a boil. So to that I'm adding those blueberries. And you just want to keep an eye on this, stirring occasionally as all of those blueberries burst open and release all of that yummy goodness. So you can see here that our blueberries have opened up and started to let out all those delicious juices. We're going to drop our temperature down on the stove to low and let this hang out, stirring occasionally while our French toast bakes in the oven. So 30 minutes has gone by and we're ready to take our aluminum foil off of our French toast bake. There we go. And back into the oven it's going to go for an additional 30 minutes. So here we have our blueberry French toast bake hot out of the oven, and that blueberry sauce to go right on top of it off to the side. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to check us out at radacutlery.com and to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get more great recipes just like this one.